It's time for playoff high school football, and you are watching the REV Game of the Week. I'm Jeff Porsche, and Coach David Swacker will be joining me soon. We are at the pit for round one, the District 1 non-select by district round, and Santa Ma, the 15th seed, will be hosting the 18th seed Westgate Tigers. When we come back, starting lineups and the opening kickoff. You're watching the REV Game of the Week.
It's game time. That's right. Get ready to rev up, raise the bar, go from 0 to 100. That's why REV is bringing the speed, buku speed, high-powered internet speed that tackles every upload, download, and stream. With the most reliable network born right here in Louisiana, all backed by homegrown support. It's time to experience the power of buku speed. Make the switch to REV. Visit us at letsrev.com.
Chris's Specialty Foods has you covered for tailgating this season. We do all the prep work so you can spend time enjoying your family and friends. Steaks, burgers, sausage, chicken, wild game, and many other great pork options. Our central location is now open on Wax Road behind the Walmart. And the new Highland location serves hot lunches and has a meeting space for your work team. New Orleans and Millerville are rocking as well. It's fast, affordable, and delicious. It's Chris's Specialty Foods.
Everybody loves Chris's.
We're Rev Business, a local provider with nearly 90 years of experience. So when it comes to business in Louisiana, we know that personalized service is key. And we're here to go the extra mile with all fiber solutions that deliver what every business needs, reliability and quality. We're not just providers. We're the local team dedicated to helping you succeed. True partnerships are homegrown. Rev Business, internet, phone, managed services. Visit us at letsrev.biz.
Welcome back to the REV Game of the Week. Here come the Tigers, the Gators, as the Santa Ma Gators and the Westgate Tigers, and the Tigers are coming from the other side, and it's Westgate versus Santa Ma on the REV Game of the Week. And I'm Jeff Porsche, David Swacker with you for Westgate at Santa Ma. And as we look at the notebook for these two teams, Santa Ma is a 15 seed, and their highest overall seed ever was number 5. That was last year and 2017. All time, they're 14-26. At the pit, they're 14-7 and have not won a road game in their history. Playoff streak, 8 in a row. At the pit, 4 years in a row. By district, they're 11-5 all time, so they have a good chance of winning here tonight, perhaps. Their deepest run, quarterfinals, 3 times, 88, 93, and 16. And I'm going to turn it over to Coach Swack, and he's going to tell us about the coaches.
And our coaches here for Westgate, Ryan Antoine, 13th year. And, of course, the big thing that he's done in 2021, he won the 4A state championship. They're still in 4A, but they bumped up to play 5A in the playoffs this year. And then David Oliver, 17th year at the school, 109-70. 12th year in the playoff, he is 6-11, and this is the first meeting between these two teams.
So it's going to be an interesting thing to see out here, as you said, the first meeting between Santa Ma and Westgate. Now, Westgate has been in some important football games here in Ascension Parish. They played a couple of quarterfinal games at Dutchtown in their history, and they won both of those games. Now, we're in the by-district round, and we talked about Dutchtown, and we're here at Santa Ma. Those two teams have made it into the by-district rounds, and they're going to be hosting games tonight. And so when we look at the schedule for the Division I non-select schools in Ascension Parish, you have Dutchtown, who is the 11th seed, at home against Walker, and they're the 22 seed. What's interesting is Walker beat them in the district play this season by 20 points. They beat them in district play last year as well. And then, of course, our other game of the week that you're watching right now, Westgate against Santa Ma. And that's a tough draw for Dutchtown because they're playing a team that has beaten them 2 years in a row.
Well, and a lot of times, that's something that you might hear in the classroom. You might hear it in the community. Well, if you everybody looks at that score and they say that's just an automatic. You got to play the game, folks. And I can just tell you this. Guy Mastretta is telling his kids all week, all of his coaching staff, we are better football. We are the district champions along with Amant Gators. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens, but they have to play us. We have to play them. And I really believe it's going to be a different side of the coin that you'll see this time for Dutchtown over Walker.
And the Amant Gators are the home team here, and we see their captains heading out to midfield. 4, 7, 16, and 39. That's Ryan Sedetall, Abram Klucher, number 16, Brody Kernan, and number 39, Braden Hack. And then on the other side, you're going to have the captains coming in from Westgate. Westgate, they look like the Bengals, and they are the Tigers, but they look like the Cincinnati Bengals when they wear those all-white jerseys. They got the tiger stripe helmets, and you see the official talking things over right now. It looks like 1, 4, and 10 are the captains on the Westgate side. It's Davian Jackson, Tavius Gordon, and Dytravius Lively.
Well, you got we're not sure where the officials are from, but you have a neutral crew.
Tonight for the Gators, number 4, Ryan Sedetall. Number 7, Abram.
I want to bring up one thing while we get to the coin toss. You see that number 5 right there in the purple jersey who's not playing tonight? You've heard of that guy maybe if you follow high school football and college football. That's Jabori Antoine. He's not playing tonight. He's the guy who committed to LSU, then decommitted to LSU and committed to Miami. He's the best defensive back in the state of Louisiana. He is their quarterback and a defensive back. So that's a big loss for them tonight. We're expecting a freshman to Noah Antoine to play in his spot tonight.
And Antoine, as you could imagine, related to the coach, the head coach of the Westgate Tigers. Westgate, for you people that are not familiar with this, at one time it was New Iberia High School. The New Iberia High School became so big that they split it up into 2 schools, Westgate, and you still have New Iberia High School.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand for a moment of silence and remain standing for the presentation of the colors and then the playing of our national anthem.
Father God, thank you for the opportunity to meet at the pit tonight and to be in the first round of playoffs. We pray that you keep everyone safe during the game and everyone gets home safely. We pray for the endurance of all players and for our actions to glorify and honor you at all times. We pray for good sportsmanship and kindness among players and fans on and off the field. We thank you for your grace and kindness and lift your name. Thank you for this time to join together in the love of the sport and as a community. We love you, Father, and it is in your name we pray and play. Amen.
Today's colors are being presented by the Santa Monica High School Naval Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps. Color Guard members are National Flag Cadet Aaron Davis, State Flag Cadet Kaomi Walker, Right Rifleman Cadet Patrick Langlois, Left Rifleman Cadet Olivia Kilatico, Cadet Olivia Kilatico.
So it's time for playoff football in Ascension Parish on the Rev game of the week. The Westgate Tigers getting ready to take on the Amant Gators. Amant in all black, Westgate in all white. So we got a nice black versus white matchup here on the uniform side. And looks like Amant, their coaches are discussing things on special teams and getting ready for that opening kickoff. So you're going to see some interesting football here tonight in Ascension Parish. Like I said, you have the co-district champs both playing home games tonight. Amant and Dutchtown both finished with one loss in district and shared the district title. Both games on the Rev game of the week, and we are ready to go, and Amant will kick off, and they will go from left to right, and so Westgate will get the ball first to start the game, and they have number 24 back to receive the opening kickoff. Joshua John, a sophomore. So Fierro will handle the kickoff duties for the Gators, and we are just about underway.
Jace Fierro kicking off, number 48 for the Gators. Moved the ball from the middle of the field to the left hash. Not real certain why, but it got the attention of the Westgate Tigers.
So he kicks deep, and he's going to John, who's going to take it at the 6-yard line, and he's going to get to the 15 and cut outside, and he's turning the corner, and he's got the corner and gets past the 30-yard line. The home crowd was trying to get the attention for a hold, but did not get it. He's tackled by number 52, Cole McElroy. Let's get a look at the Westgate offensive starters as we see the return. And we said their quarterback is going to be Antoine, but it's Noah Antoine, number 19, we're expecting to start. And then in the backfield, you got Tavius Gordon, Davian Jackson, Caden Lancelin, and Jackson Malvo are the receivers. Tight end Gavin Abear, Vital, Charles, Rankins, Courtney, and Nat are your offensive linemen. And we have a different guy at quarterback, and we're going to probably see a lot of variety out here in their formations. And the first play is a handoff and drop for a loss by Amant. Let's look at their defensive starters right now. They're going to run a 3-4, and they're going to have Gavin Carpenter, Jacoby Davis, and Gavin Abear. And then at linebacker, you got Anthony Salzarulo, Ronald Guillory, Evan Williams, and Wesley Dykes. Cornerbacks, Caleb Ricks and Easton Humphrey. Safeties, MJ Dunn and Landon Mia.
And that was Gavin Carpenter with a big stop for a 5-yard loss on that first play of the playoffs tonight.
Now, Gordon was getting the direct snap right there. And he's going to keep it on the option keeper, and he's going to get a first down past the 45-yard line. Gordon is listed as the running back, but like we said, there's a lot of variety we'll probably see out here with the loss of the
and Gordon's just going to run just a little fake and go. You can see basically base blocking right there. Looks like maybe somebody got out of position defensively. Picks up 16 yards for a first down.
Now under center, you got Leon, and he's going to give it to Gordon, and he's going to be dropped for a big loss. That's Carpenter again.
Well, and then you had big 40.
You had Evan Williams, number 49, that was also in there.
Boy, he looked like Coach Dykes sent him on a stunt that he hit the hole quick as can be. It was in the backfield, and another 5-yard loss there.
Now, this quarterback that you've seen on this opening drive, besides the Wildcat from Gordon, is number 3, Bryant Leon. And he's in the backfield with Gordon. We have not seen 19, Antoine, yet. He got a lot of reps in the pregame. Second down, it's going to be third down and long, as that didn't fool anybody. Tavius Gordon going to be dropped by number 98, Carpenter again.
And I'm going to tell you, Carpenter, you know, as you remember, maybe you don't, but his brother was a heck of a football player. Now with the LSU Tigers a few years ago, now you get a trips formation to the wide side of the field, tight end to the left. They were kind of lined up that in the first play of the game. And the Gators counter with 2 safeties deep.
Now, we'll see what kind of passing threat this is. Leon, he's a wide receiver by trade, completes it, and that's going to be a first down. That might get inside the red zone. That might get into the end zone, and it's a touchdown for number 14 for Westgate, Jacquillian Robinson. Jacquillian Robinson makes the catch in the run, and Westgate shocks the home crowd.
And right here, nice little sprint out, and all he did was just curl up over there about 8 or 10 yards. And after he caught the ball, he took off to the opposite side of the field, and no one could run him down.
So they strike quickly on the pass.
And look at this on the extra point, a lot of movement.
Swinging gate, swings back.
Probably a number of plays.
This is Jake Thibodeau will try the extra point.
Well, you kind of unbalanced to the left side.
And they get through, and there's a flag. Extra point. We'll have to see what the call is. I think they did get through.
Offsides to the Gators. Saw the line judge.
Yep. And so they may they may be making a little bit of a change. They're going to accept the penalty, and they're going to go for 2.
And so that ball's on the 3-yard line, so now it will go to the 1.5-yard line.
And it looks like they're going to run the Wildcat with Gordon. Well, actually, they also have they have a couple of guys in the backfield. They have a loaded backfield. It looks like the snap's going to go to number 10, and he's going to try to get in, and he is in, and that's Dytravius Lively for the 2-point conversion. So it's 8-0, and we're going to take a break. Westgate takes the lead. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
It's game time. That's right. Get ready to rev up, raise the bar. Go from 0 to 100. That's why Rev is bringing the speed. Buku speed. High-powered internet speed that tackles every upload, download, and stream. With the most reliable network born right here in Louisiana. All backed by homegrown support. It's time to experience the power of Buku speed. Make the switch to Rev. Visit us at letsrev.com.
Welcome back to the Rev Game of the Week. Westgate strikes fast with 9:06 left to go in the first quarter. They lead 8-0 as they make the 2-point conversion after the penalty on the extra point. And now here comes the kick, and it's going to be taken at about the 10-yard line. And he's got a hole, gets to the 30, breaks a tackle, and pushed out of bounds. So that's a nice return by Easton Humphrey. Let's look at the Santa Maria offense as they come out to the field, and they're going to be led by Cooper Babin, who's had a great season. In the backfield, you're going to see Jordan Hickerson a lot tonight. His receivers, Elisar, Johnson, Taylor, and Myers. Offensive line, Austin McNabb, Elijah Thornton, Braden Kling, Sam Palacios, and Austin Baxter.
Well, the Gators have been playing a lot better football here as of late, and ended up with a tie with Dutchtown for first place.
And on the handoff, this is Tyree Williams, and he's going to get close to a first down. We'll see where they spot it, but a nice run on first down for the Gators. Westgate on defense, they play a 4-3. That's Evan Bryant, Keon Reno, Dalen Doucette, Demarion Jackson, and then at linebacker, Trandon Benjamin, Dytravius Lively, and Makai Wells. Cornerbacks, Amari Simon, John Dotrieve, and then Dwyer and Antoine on defense as the first down carry by Tyree Williams.
And Tyree Williams is your senior running back. kind of running back by committee. Tyree is in powerlifting, very strong kid, very good speed and quickness. And as you can see right off the bat, Coach Seth Babin and Coach Oliver, let's run the football a little bit here.
Maybe make a statement here. Going against tendencies, and this is going to be Williams again. He was the number 2 running back in terms of total rushing yards for Santamon. He had 75 carries for 271 yards and 3 touchdowns.
And basically, when you look at Cooper Babin, between his rushing attack and his passing attack, you know, he's close to 1,900 yards. So, you know, you're
and there he is going to carry, and he's got a first down and nearly broke it. Touchdown, perhaps saving tackle by Amari Simon, number 0.
And watch the pitch right here. All you want to try to get is a step. Step right here defensively and back in the other direction, probably pulling 2 people on that little counter move right there.
Babin had 315 running yards. He was the number 2 leading rusher on the team. And on first down, not much right there by Tyree Williams.
And, you know, I'm just looking in the secondary because that's what you want to look at. A lot of times you're going to have pure man. Sometimes I've seen a couple of safeties deep.
And you know what we haven't seen either? A pass. Bit surprising so far. It's been Williams and Babin on the ground. And it's going to be the option keeper, and makes a nice move but can't make a second move as Travius Lively makes the tackle from his middle linebacker spot.
And a little read there by Cooper Babin right there. The read was to pull it, and had one guy to beat on the outside. Looked like he was trying to get blocked, but that did not happen right there. Basically, you have a 3rd and 9 situation.
So now you might expect a pass from this offense, and they like to spread it out. They run that spread offense with 4 receivers, and we have a whistle. And maybe looks like, yes, they did call a timeout. That's Westgate calling their first timeout, and we're going to keep it here. And what we're going to look at is the 5-5A playoff situation, as 5 of the 7 teams made the playoffs. Prairieville and East Ascension did not make the playoffs. But Dutchtown, they're the highest seed. They're 8-1. They had that big head-to-head win against Santamon. Santamon is 15. That's probably why they're in those spots. Denham is at 20. Walker is at 22, and they're playing Dutchtown, number 11. And then Live Oak is number 27.
And you look at Live Oak and you say 3-6. How are you in the playoffs? It's about who you play, what games you win, and then they're going to take 28 teams in there, and, of course, 27 is right in there. But as long as you're in there, you're in there.
Right. East Ascension had a similar record, but the difference was perhaps that Live Oak beat Denham Springs and Denham Springs beat East Ascension. That's why they maybe got in and East Ascension did not get in, even though East Ascension won the head-to-head between the two. 3rd and 9. And they're looking to the coaches as they're calling in the signals.
Movement by the back, trying to get him to jump a little bit.
And pass, a little crossing route, but not enough, as a good job catching Quentin Elisar from behind. That was Simon on the tackle, and it's 4th down.
And a nice little play there. You know, a lot of times you just call it a mesh route, or, you know, or whatever you want to call it. And you got to get a lot of times if Elazar is not ahead right there, you know, you throw to the other side of that mesh route.
And now they're going to go for it as the ball is at the 33-yard line. And really no need to punt right here. Babin under pressure throws, and that pressure got to him. And I think that was number 11, Demarion Jackson, who got through, and it's going to be a turnover on downs. 5:14 left to go in our first quarter. Westgate got on the board on their opening drive, but Santamon could not score. And now we move to the second possession.
Well, Jeff, what I saw right there, it looks like Santamon, from after that first little drive right there, thinks, we can run the ball against these guys. And if you get some situations to where you play action pass, maybe you could throw some balls down the field.
So now you got motion by Westgate. And the option keeper, this is that Wildcat by Gordon. And Santa Maria has really responded well to this run.
And you saw the motion. Santa Maria was in a man-to-man situation. The defensive back for the Gators ran with his motion man. We have an injury.
And that's Gordon, the running back / Wildcat quarterback.
You don't want anybody to get hurt, especially someone of the value of your starting running back.
Right, because they've already lost Antoine, the Jabori Antoine, who is their quarterback. And now you lose Gordon, and he's back up. He might just got a little stinger right there, perhaps, and it looks like he's all right.
Well, I tell you what, Jeff, this to me is exciting time in the community, exciting time. Can you imagine, Westgate hadn't been a school that long, and they've won a state championship in 2021. Right. I know in the Santa Maria area, this is always a big time. Get in the playoffs, see how we can do in all of the sports. And going to be interesting to see what happens here, who moves on from here at a 2nd and 11.
And you're going to have the quarterback rolling out under pressure, gets free, and then slides down, and then there's a blow to the head, and they're going to get a flag. So Leon kind of just hit the ground, and one of the Santa Maria players got him.
Well, watch the receiver down here. He's blocking. He thinks it's a run. The quarterback thinks it's a pass, and I'm not real certain on that one right there. But there was no communication.
Well, obviously the home crowd doesn't like it. It looks like Dykes had him on the ground, and then another player came in and maybe had it didn't look like a deliberate shot to the head, but there was contact. And so now Westgate gets a first down on the penalty, and it's 1st and 10 at the 45. And you see Leon at quarterback, Bryant Leon, and then Gavin Abair, who is listed as an athlete, is your running back. And they're giving it to Abair, and he gets positive yardage, which we haven't seen a lot from anybody in the backfield, and I think Dykes got him on the ground, and it's 2nd down.
Well, this is a lot of people playing quarterback, a lot of people playing running back. The one place is pretty much set is that offensive line.
Yeah, they look solid.
A lot of different plays for a lot of different people.
They have thrown one pass, and it was completed for a touchdown. That was a pass to Robertson, and we have a whistle.
We're going to get a warning. You need to move back on the sideline.
So that's the first warning. So it's a warning. You don't know what you're going to get outside of this ground game for Westgate. They have thrown that one pass, but like we said, you have a senior quarterback who's out, and this Bryant Leon is listed as a wide receiver, and we've also seen some other receivers playing that quarterback position during warm-ups, and we've seen a couple of freshmen out there too. Leon's going to throw the deep pass, and he's open, but it's off the wrong shoulder, incomplete. And it looks like that was to Lancelin, a freshman.
That was Jared Brown on the coverage, on the vertical route. Looked like he had a couple of steps on him.
Yeah, he did, but he had to wait a second for that pass to go down. Had a little air under it.
And the good thing about Brown right there, kind of was forcing him into the sideline there.
So, again, in the backfield, you have Bryant Leon at quarterback and Gavin Abair as your running back. And it's a low snap and a quick pass. Same route. There's contact, and I don't see a flag. It's going to be 4th down. Looked like there was contact, but that pass was overthrown, and the flag stays in the pocket, and it's fourth.
Well, and then that would concern me a little bit, because that play ended up just like the play before that.
Yeah.
With the receiver a couple of steps ahead of the defensive back, and whatever coverage you want to call that, it's basically man-to-man. And so they're going to – I would venture to say they're going to try it again.
Yep. And there's a punt taken at the 25 and gets to the 29 as Easton Humphrey receiving the punt. And so Santa Maria makes a stop. They trail 8-0, 3:16 left to go in the first quarter here at the pit. You're watching the Rev game of the week between the 15th seeded Santa Maria Gators and the 18th seeded Westgate Tigers. Now, on the opening drive, Santa Maria got downfield on the ground, but then they had to give it up on downs as you had an incomplete pass on fourth down, and now Cooper Babin will take over, and a quick pass, and this is what we're used to seeing, but not very successful so far. So Cooper Babin, you talked about how many yards he's had on the season. He has 18 touchdowns and 10 interceptions, 1,563 yards on the season.
And, the interceptions, a lot of that was early in the season. So Cooper and the Gators have been rolling offensively, defensively, and in special teams the last few weeks.
And the option keeper, and he found a seam and gets a first down past the 40-yard line. I like the way he waits for that hole to develop and then just bursts right through it.
Well, it's a read right there. Wherever you can see the people pulling right there, you're either going to give that thing or you're going to pull it. And if you pull it, I'm sure Coach Babin would say to his son, you just make sure you're going to get some yards.
And
don't want to be tackled in that backfield.
First and 10 from the 42. Santa Maria trailing 8-0. And a quick pass. That's batted down, too. I think that was number 10 for Westgate, Lively.
Well, when they had the two safeties deep, I thought they might run the ball. That might be easier said than done, from the top up here.
Yeah. Their linebackers and DBs look very active, and they're getting good penetration from their D-line as well. A lot of great athletes playing on this Westgate team. Second down and 10. And that's Hickerson to get 3 before he's pushed back. And you see number 11, Demarion Jackson, one of the tacklers for the Tigers. It's going to be 3rd and 7.
And Westgate is making some massive changes all over the field. Probably some of your better athletes on offense are coming in on defense. And I like this formation, empty.
3rd down, 5 receivers in the package, and they're going deep, and it's overthrown. They were trying to get that pass to number 6, Connor Darr, and so he's not been able to connect much through the air, even though he's run the ball pretty well so far.
Well, we're about done with the first quarter right here, but, there's tests to a lot of things that you have to see offensively and defensively.
So Fierro's going to punt, and Westgate is about to get their 3rd possession. It's a line drive, and it's a good one as they're going to let it roll. And that's a big break for Santa Maria as they let it roll all the way down to the 11. And that was a line drive, so it's hard to get up to that ball for the punt returner, and so that gives Santa Maria good field position on defense.
Well, if for Fierro, that's almost a 50-yard punt right there where you get a nice little roll. And Westgate's going to start on the 10-yard line.
Yeah, it's about at the 10.5. And now you're going to see still, it looks like Leon and Thibodeau in the backfield. Or Hebert, excuse me. First down, Bear tries to cut outside and gets maybe a yard. And so it's going to bring up 2nd down and 9.
And we have a Dutchtown score at the end of the first quarter. 7-7. It's tied up with Walker at Dutchtown.
Now, last year they played a close game where Dutchtown had a 20-0 lead, I believe, and then Walker came back and won 21-20. But this year in that game, Walker beat them by 20. And so Dutchtown is definitely out for vengeance. 2nd and 9 after the short run. And that's Bear again. So we haven't seen Tavius Gordon after that injury. And so they have to be kind of limited in kind of their skill position players right now. It's 3rd down and long.
Well, I know one thing that I guess I'm going to sound like a broken record. The vertical pass to their offensive right has been open. They just haven't completed the ball.
They're trying to draw them off sides, and they did, as the clock stops at 24 seconds left to go. Now we'll see if they moved before that happened, and let's see.
Mass substitutions here.
So we'll wait for the official, and it's an offsides call. So now they're probably going to their big package, right, with about 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2.
Sounds good to me.
Yep. I see Trandon Benjamin in the backfield right now, and there's Tavius Gordon back in the game. And Benjamin, I think, is getting the snap. And he's going to keep it, and he's fighting for it, and he gets it. So that's a first down. That's the first time I think we've seen Trandon Benjamin, a junior athlete, and on what's probably going to be the final play of the first quarter. As you see him shedding tackles, Easton Humphrey hung on and made the tackle as we're down to 2 seconds, 1, and the first quarter is over. And so Westgate scored on their opening possession, and our score is 8-0. Westgate leading Sanamaw. We're going to take a break. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
Game time. That's right. Get ready to rev up. Raise the bar. Go from 0 to 100. That's why Rev is bringing the speed. Buku speed. High-powered internet speed that tackles every upload, download, and stream. With the most reliable network born right here in Louisiana. All backed by homegrown support. It's time to experience the power of Buku speed. Make the switch to Rev. Visit us at letsrev.com.
Welcome back to the Rev Game of the Week. Westgate 8, Sanamaw nothing as we start the second quarter. Jeff Porsche, David Swacker with you. And so this is kind of like a boxing match here. Both teams kind of feeling each other out right now.
And, it's, Sanamaw started out, moving the ball, consistently running the ball, not having a great deal of success, but not trying a whole lot in the passing game. And basically, I think Westgate has just basically completed one pass.
And it was a touchdown.
And it was about a 10-yard gain, and he took off running, and nobody could catch him.
And look at this. You got the Wildcat with Tavius Gordon, and you got 4 receivers all to the right. And so watch him run left. Just a guess. Up the middle. So he's going to get about 4 or 5. So good progress. Gordon, good to see him back. He got injured about halfway through the first quarter, but he's back in the game, taking those Wildcat
Looks
snaps.
like they have a little series out of this. 4 receivers. Want to see what's going on. Maybe they'll want to throw one out here.
They're going to cut outside to the left and patiently gets a first down. Close to the 35. He's probably a little shy of that, but that ought to be enough for a first down based on where I see them marking the football. So this is just an interesting formation. Looks like they're going to stay with it.
Well, when you get a first down easily with 2 runs right there, I could see why you would want to do that.
So this is Gordon again, and this time he's running it off the right tackle, and that's his least successful run of this drive as Evan Williams excited about making that tackle.
And basically you got 3 guys on the defensive line right there, and then you have your 5 linebackers. One of them's probably moved out here in the 4 receiver formation.
2nd and 7. And it looks like a new player in the backfield is going to get this snap, and he does. And he cuts outside, and he's got a first down. And that's Davian Jackson, a senior athlete for Westgate, and he gets the first down easily. As we look at the replay right here, he's going to cut left.
And just, trying to get in that C gap, but it was all clogged up and breaks it outside right there for a big gain of 1st and 10.
Miet makes the tackle. 1st and 10 from the 47, and he's going to keep it again. And he breaks a tackle. He's got about 9. That's Jackson again. So this formation is doing wonders so far.
Well, Coach Oliver says, let's call a timeout right here and see if we can realign maybe a 3-man front. Maybe let's bring the linebackers up, something a little bit different. Has he been running to the 4 receiver side or away from the 4 receiver side?
He's been running away.
And, you could slant in that direction.
Yep. So.
And, you might want to bring somebody off the corner. But you always want to check out, Jeff, who's that end man on the line of scrimmage away from the 4. Make sure he is not a receiver, and then all of a sudden he takes off downfield, and you have a corner coming hard, you have a free safety coming hard, and you have a guy wide open. So there's a lot of things that you have to do defensively, and then on top of that, you got to tackle.
Yeah, they've had some trouble with that. These guys are big, and they're strong, and they're athletic. This is a big football team. And they're a good football team. They play out of 4-4A. They've lost 2 games, and those are to St. Thomas More and Turlings. No slouches. 2nd and 1, and he has trouble with the snap. He almost got past him. That's Amari Simon. And let's look at the spot before we decide whether it's 3rd down. It looks like it is. They've already marked it. So it's going to be 3rd and 1. They're going to say no gain on the carry.
Well, here you go, your little heavy package, except now you include 2 wide receivers in there.
Yeah, you got 50 and 54 in the backfield. That's Skylar Landry and Richard Courtney. And now you got Jackson. Looks like he's going to take the snap. And he's going to twist over the line, and he might have the first down. Looking at the spot, it's going to be right on it. I hear somebody saying short. It looks like it's going to be 4th down and about 6 inches. So you're going to have Davian Jackson again with Abear in the backfield and the 2 linemen helping out. 4th and short and a timeout. We saw the coach, Antoine, on the far side running, sprinting to the official to call that timeout, and we're going to keep it here. And you were talking about what Santa Ma's going to do on defense. They've kind of made a stop on the last couple of plays. Santa Ma's had a lot of history in this LHSAA playoff format. Let's talk about some of that history right now, and you're going to see some familiar faces. I know you don't like to talk about that too much.
Sometimes history kind of hurts a human being.
Yeah. Well, you got Lloyd Wax, who has that 0-1 record, and then you got Doug Morrow, who was 500. Then you got Swack, and you got look how many times you got to the playoffs though.
So, but I'm going to just say this. Yeah. I need to apologize for the 10th time.
Yeah.
Okay, because I've been doing this, I think, 10 years maybe. Mm-hmm. Should have been better. Should have been better than that 2-8.
Well, and Coach O has with a win tonight, he could be the winningest postseason coach in Santa Maria history. That's something that we might want to bring up if that happens.
The big thing that, just as a killer with the Santa Maria people and the coaches and the players is not winning on the road in the playoffs.
Yep. And they jumped. 1st and 10. And you could see how frustrated he was. The victim for Santa Maria was number 26, Jacoby Davis. And it's going to be first down the easy way. And if they win tonight, next week, the likely opponent is, the actual opponent, whoever wins, because they get a bye. They'd have to go up to Bossier.
Let me just tell you this, Jeff. I'm here to tell you right now, if I played bye the first round of the playoffs, I'd be 10-0 in the playoffs.
Well, you might have lost 1 or 2. I don't know. But I'm kidding, man. You know I love you. Gordon's going to get a first down, and he is escorted out of bounds close to the gate down there. And so you see him being chased by Carpenter, and he keeps on hustling, and then gets him down out of bounds. They're not going to throw a flag. 1st and 10 at the 22.
So, Coach Antoine, boy, he's got this theme. If it's working, you know what he does? Sticks with it.
Yeah. I love when coaches do that. Sometimes they try to get cute, and then they lose 10 yards. And it looks like Gordon and a couple of the people in the backfield are having trouble with the snap. That's the second or third time I've seen that. And, of course, you're going to see that when your quarterback is out, like Antoine is.
And basically to me, I feel like I can almost write a book with only one page in the book. The quarterback cannot see what's going on if he's looking at the ground catching a snap.
Yeah.
And that's critical in the passing game, but boy, how critical is it in the running game if you are carrying the ball?
So Jackson is going to be at quarterback now, and he's going to cut outside. He's had success on the corner. He's really fast, and he is going to be inside the 20. So they're going to get some of the yards back that they got on the loss, but there's a flag, and so we'll see. There's one on the far side at about the 28-yard line. It would be about 3rd and 7 or 8 without the penalty. And it's taken a moment to figure it out. Westgate getting close to scoring range. They already lead 8-0 over Santa Maria. 7:51 left to go before halftime.
And how did they get that 2-point conversion?
It was a penalty.
Basically a penalty on trying to get the Gators to jump, and it was successful. And then scored from the 1.5-yard line on that little heavy package that you see right now.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Swack, but I think there have been 3 offside calls against the Santa Maria defense or special teams so far tonight.
I think somewhere in that neighborhood, and sadly to say, crucial offsides.
Yeah.
Like
that 4th and inches.
Exactly.
So we're still trying to figure it out. Now they're talking to Coach Antoine. Maybe they're trying to figure out a spot or if he's going to accept the penalty. They're going to spot the ball back where it was originally. And so now let's see what the official comes and says. Let's look at the white hat.
It's 12 or 13 yards, 2nd down.
So it looks like they're just going to run the play again. They're calling offsetting personal fouls. So there's been a disqualification.
A disqualification of?
Not sure whom, because we don't get the mic. So now let's see what we have in the backfield. Looks like Leon is back, going to take the snap with Jackson. Hebert's in motion. And 0 on the play clock. That took forever.
I was concerned about what I was looking at. One-on-one, all the way down to the sideline. And whether they were thinking vertical route right there.
And Leon came in. He's a guy that's throwing the passes. He has thrown all 3 passes tonight for Westgate. Leon's going to get the snap, and the little shovel pass to Hebert, breaks a tackle and tries to turn the corner and is kind of horse-collared down, but no penalty right there. Looks like number 40, Dykes, grabs him. But he got him from behind, and they're going to call it a clean tackle. So let's look at the replay right there.
Missed tackle there. And possibly, the running back says to the referee, I got horse collar, but no call there.
So now it's 3rd down and about 15. So this drive has stalled. And Leon's going to fake the pass. So he drops it. Or are they going to call that an incomplete pass or a fumble recovery? Either way, Westgate's going to keep the ball. Coach, I want to talk about it. You were talking about the consistency, and when you have a formation that works, you keep with it. They had that 1 back and 4 receiver set, and they got past midfield, and then they got away from it, and now it's fourth and a mile.
I was waiting for a pass out of that.
Yeah. Well, what we're about to get is a field goal.
Well, this is
49-yarder. We saw this guy, Thibodeau. He's got a great leg. But they're not going to get this one off. And Santa Maria recovers, and they're going to get it on downs.
Well, the Gator fans cheer on the defense for having a big play right there.
So that drive looked really successful in the early stages when you had that 4 receiver set and the 1 back going left. And then you had that 1 drive where everything kind of fell apart, and then the bad hold on the field goal, and you got a turnover.
I would just love to talk to Coach Antoine and say, just exactly how do you call those plays? Do you just say sweep right, sweep left?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I see a big run right here, and he is going to score, and it's 8-6. Tyree Williams takes it to the house.
I said he can run. I've seen it for all those years at Galvez. He can run. Now he's a senior, and that's exactly one of the running plays that Coach Seth Babin had in the first couple of series right there. Tyree gets through there, nice little blocking by the offensive line, outstanding blocking by the offensive line. And you saw when Tyree passed us, he was rolling.
He was flying. And they're going for 2. They're going to try to tie it up right here.
What do you think? What about try to get him to jump?
Maybe. Man in motion. And that's Dar who got it from the Wildcat, and that's not going to make it. So it's going to stay 8-6, and we're going to take a break. 8-6, Westgate leads Santa Maria. As you see the replay, as we take you out, you are watching the Rev Game of the Week.
Game time. That's right. Get ready to rev up. Raise the bar. Go from 0 to 100. That's why Rev is bringing the speed. Buku speed. High-powered internet speed that tackles every upload, download, and stream. With the most reliable network born right here in Louisiana. All backed by homegrown support. It's time to experience the power of Buku speed. Make the switch to Rev. Visit us at letsrev.com.
It's 8-6. Westgate leads Santa Maria, as we just saw a 55-yard touchdown run untouched by Tyree Williams. And look at the Santa Maria band. They're fired up, and they're all fired up. Jace Fierro is going to handle this kickoff.
When you talk about playoffs in football, I mean, your whole school, your community, all your people, the Gatorettes, the flag girls, they all part of this, and
you know who's part of that? Number 30 for Sanoma, Jaquan Gordon, a sophomore running back. He's going to take down Joshua John, who had to wait a moment for that kick as he had to take it on the bounce. And look at Gordon.
Nice hang time.
Yep. So the pooch kick works.
Well, let's just see, because Santamo's been a little bit on defense for, some time here.
Yep.
And let's just see if the excitement of the score right there, the excitement of the big play on the tackle, will carry over to Coach Dykes' defensive group.
So now you got Jackson and Gordon in the backfield. They've put about 4 players under center here tonight. And Gordon, I think he thought about throwing it, but then he's grabbed from behind. Evan Williams had him by some part of his shirt, and he held him down.
I thought the way it looked that he was having a little play action pass.
Yeah, I thought that's what was going on. But look at it. It's like a yo-yo.
Well, you got 3 receivers out there.
2nd and 10. Is that what you call spandex? Gordon again, rolling out. He's going to throw it, and it's caught. That's similar to what you saw earlier on the touchdown pass.
That was the play.
Yeah, out in the
Except
flat.
that was sprinting out to the right. Now this was sprinting out to the left. Did a good job of squaring up those shoulders. And I'm going to tell you what was the good play right there. Someone on the outside did a good job of cutting that quarterback up and where he had to pull up and throw, and the Gators were able to make a tackle and a play.
And you got that 4 receiver set, and it's going to get him a first down. That formation is working very well for Westgate here tonight. As we get to 4:09 left to go before halftime, it's 8-6. It's been a fun one so far.
Well,
Been a very evenly matched game. Sorry, Coach. Didn't mean to step on you there. And now you got the 4 receivers right.
And every one of these guys is eligible.
Sanoma jumped again. That's at least 4. Looks like the victim that time was McElroy. So they're giving him free yards, and that helps. But so far, Westgate hasn't really capitalized except for that 2-point conversion. So here we go. Now you got 3 right, 1 left. And they're going with that long pass downfield. And it looks like he got his hands on it, but it gets away. That pass didn't have a lot of air underneath it. They were trying to get it to Jackson.
And, this is what I call coverage right there. What I'm looking at is down the field, and you sit there, and when that guy gets his hands out, you scrape it, get them in a position where you can knock that ball out, and a good defensive play for the Gators.
It looks like Jared Brown was on the coverage, and he is on the sidelines on the other side, and they're going to tend to him. So this might take a moment as he is going to be taken care of. But meanwhile, there was a holding penalty that was called. So you're going to get a 10-yard penalty after the offside call on the first play. So now you're going to have a 1st and 15 as no on this series of downs, you still haven't had an official play happen yet because you've had 1 offside and you've had 1 hold. As they take care of Brown, he's a little favoring. It looks like his left
Brown.
leg.
a senior. You know, he's one of a number of people that have scattered out a few 1 to 2 interceptions on the Gator defensive side of the ball.
3 receivers right, 1 left. Tavius Gordon. Near the left hash. Clock at 3:30. And he's going to throw the same pass. And they've got underneath it and caught. And it's complete for a first down to Davian Jackson. That one had a little air underneath it, and he was able to catch up. Look at this replay, Coach.
And nice little throw and catch. Caleb Ricks.
He was on the coverage.
6'2" senior.
Couldn't stay with him, though.
You know, it's just a matter, you know, they've had this throw. You know, they're just doing a little better job of executing it from the quarterback position.
I think we've seen 2 pass routes so far tonight. And now they're going to keep it. He's got a hole. He's to the 25 and down inside the 23. So a first down carry for Westgate. I think he was looking for that deep pass again, and it kind of froze everybody for a moment, and he was able to find the hole right up the middle. So when he took the snap, he looked left again.
You have Lively in at quarterback.
He scored on the 2-point conversion. He's a big guy. He plays linebacker, and he's going to get a few.
You know, you put a guy, and I don't know if they've been in these formations or whatever. I'm not sure how you come here in 1 week and perfect your runs and passes out of multiple formations, multiple quarterbacks. But it seems to be working for him right here. And, you know, you take this the defensive player, you put him in at quarterback, he kind of gets excited there.
Lively keeps it, sheds some tackles. He's the big man, and he's inside the 15. He's close to a first down. And we were trying to figure out who was going to play quarterback because we got some conflicting messages, and we heard that there were a couple of freshmen who might have been playing quarterback. And 19, Antoine, was the guy that was getting most of the snaps during pregame warm-ups, and we haven't even seen him one time so far.
Coach Antoine does a good job right here. And he is switching out multiple people in personnel.
Looks like Simon is going to get the snap here. He does. And he's going to try to cut far side on first down. Going to get a couple. They were able to convert the first down on that previous run, as you had Lively on the previous carry. 2nd and 8. And the clock is just dying here. 1:10 left to go before halftime. And we have a whistle, and we're close to halftime right now. We're gonna talk about the playoffs at halftime. I'm gonna have a special interview with Coach Swack, an exclusive interview with Coach Swack. And here's another run, and he is going to get into the end zone. Trandon Benjamin scores for Westgate, and it's 14-6 with 56 left.
Well, watch the little counter step to the right. Nobody in that B gap right there.
Got past Carpenter, and it was smooth sailing. They're going to go for the extra point from Jake Thibodeau. And it's blocked. I think that's Carpenter got through.
And I'm going to tell you, I saw that on the field goal try also. So it's something that, you know, Coach Oliver needs to keep in his brain, you know, because they have a very good kicker. Watch the little through the B gap here or the A gap. Simple as could be.
You're right. And I guess we'll keep it here because we're pretty close to getting the kickoff from Westgate. And this is there's a lot of talk about teams chasing points too early when in a 2-point conversion situation. And earlier, Santa Maria on their last touchdown decided to go for 2 to try to keep up with Westgate. And they didn't get the extra point there, so they're stuck at 14 right now. That extra point may be costly, the 2-point conversion. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
So because now they're going to have to try the 2-point conversion again.
Well, and, most of you coaches say we can make 1 out of 2, so that's all Santa Maria needs.
You're right. And we have a whistle. This is not going to happen, as there is a flag all the way on the far side at the 40-yard line.
Well, that's where the kickoff team lines up. And that was an offside signal. So now you're going to move it 5 yards back. That's a dead ball, just like it was an offensive play. If you have a lineman that lines up offsides or receiver, that official's going to blow that whistle right off the bat, or if you move, a procedure penalty.
Santa Maria is going to get the ball with like 40 seconds left once they take over on offense, probably. Is that enough to score? Well, Tyree Williams scored on 1 play on the previous drive. So I'm going to say yes. We got another whistle. What is this? Not sure, but I think it's settled. And it's going to go to about the 10-yard line and not past the 25. And so that was Riley Rizzuto for the Gators. And so they're going to have about 76 yards to go with 50 seconds left. So I think what they were doing was resetting the clock, because now we're at 50. So we'll see what Cooper Babin has in store. Very quickly, he's going to keep it, and he's going to be wrestled down by Dytravius Lively.
And, basically just a draw play right here. See big 77 running out there, and Cooper saying, please kick that guy out. I might go for 20 or 30 yards more down the field.
Santa Maria not choosing to call a timeout, 27 seconds, and they got it wide open to Elisar, close to midfield. They may call the timeout right here. And they do. So Santa Maria had already used 1 timeout. They have 2 left, but they used one of those 2 after this completion right there, and that's a nice pass right up the middle.
You know what I'm thinking? We saw Tyree Williams, number 19. He ran right across our faces here.
Yep.
Did he look pretty fast?
He was quick.
Tell me this. Was anybody catching him?
Nope.
So to me, what that tells me is maybe they don't have near the speed that you think that they have.
No, not on defense.
And don't underestimate the ability of our receivers and our quarterback and our offensive line. Let's throw the ball down the field. Let's see what happens here.
We haven't seen any of those deep balls yet.
Yeah, and, right now they're playing with 2 safeties deep, and I understand that. But, I'm just talking about for the second half.
Yeah. Put that in the back of your brain, right?
They would be searching for the back half of my brain.
Well, same here. 1st and 10 at the 48. Babin throwing downfield, and it's up for grabs and nearly pulled down by Timothy Johnson Jr. But it's going to fall incomplete with 11 seconds left. It looked like it maybe needed a little more air underneath it as you look at the replay. As number 17 on the defense for Westgate.
You got Walker ahead 20-7.
Yep.
At halftime.
That's on Dutchtown. And that's going to be a sack, and that might end the first half. We'll see if they call a timeout or let it run. And they're going to let it run to 0. So we are at halftime. So our score at halftime is Westgate 14, Santa Maria 6. So we'll take a break, and we'll handle the halftime activities. Join us for our exclusive interview with David Swacker. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
It's game time. That's right. Get ready to rev up. Raise the bar. Go from 0 to 100. That's why REV is bringing the speed. Buku speed. High-powered internet speed that tackles every upload, download, and stream. With the most reliable network born right here in Louisiana. All backed by homegrown support. It's time to experience the power of Buku speed. Make the switch to REV. Visit us at letsrev.com.
Chris's Specialty Foods has you covered for tailgating this season. We do all the prep work so you can spend time enjoying your family and friends. Steaks, burgers, sausage, chicken, wild game, and many other great pork options. Our central location is now open on Wax Road behind the Walmart. And the new Highland location serves hot lunches and has a meeting space for your work team. New Orleans and Millerville are rocking as well. It's fast, affordable, and delicious. It's Chris's Specialty Foods.
Everybody loves Chris's.
We're REV Business, a local provider with nearly 90 years of experience. So when it comes to business in Louisiana, we know that personalized service is key. And we're here to go the extra mile with all fiber solutions that deliver what every business needs, reliability and quality. We're not just providers. We're the local team dedicated to helping you succeed. True partnerships are homegrown. REV Business, internet, phone, managed services. Visit us at letsrev.biz.
Welcome back to the Rev Game of the Week. It's halftime at the pit. Santa Maria, the home team, and the higher seed, the 15th-seeded Gators, trailing the 18th-seeded Westgate Tigers by a score of 14-6. And so you got football tonight, and you got our two games, and we mentioned already Walker-Dutchtown, Walker winning at halftime. And so both the teams here in Ascension Parish are trailing right now. This could be our last football broadcast of this school year. There's a strong likelihood that if either of these teams advance, that they may be playing on the road for the rest of the time. So we'll have to see how the postseason schedule works out, but we can tell you a couple of things that we're going to do, because our upcoming Rev schedule is going to be winter sports, as you have basketball and soccer, both boys and girls soccer and boys and girls basketball. And so we're going to get all the teams here on the east side, East Ascension, Santa Maria, Dutchtown, and Prairieville. And we may get some Donaldsonville basketball as well. Who knows? But that's all coming up. And the fall sports are coming to a close over the upcoming weeks with the football playoffs. The volleyball in Ascension Parish ended last night as Dutchtown was defeated at the Cajun Dome in the quarterfinals by Mount Carmel Academy. And that was a 5-set thriller. But Mount Carmel won set 5, and they advance, and so Dutchtown goes home. But Patrick Ricks and his squad always makes it to the Cajun Dome, and that is a big feat to itself.
Well, Pat Ricks is one of our past athletes at Santa Maria High School, multi-sport guy. And he's been a multi-sport coach throughout his time. And then last few years he's kind of settled into the volleyball scene. And, I'm sure he's like maybe one of many coaches that could say, boy, if they just did a select, non-select volleyball,
Yeah.
we might have won a number of state championships, but doesn't quite work like that. And I did notice this. It's amazing. I think it's Slidell. I think they're ranked number 1.
Yeah, they've had a nice season.
And they won yesterday. They're in the semifinals. So it'll be interesting to see. A lot of times, you look at St. Joseph, you look at Turlings, you look at St. Thomas More, and then, of course,
You got those schools in New Orleans like Dominican, Mount Carmel.
they are relentless. I mean, they play outstanding volleyball. So those finals will be tonight and tomorrow night for all the different divisions and classifications. And I'll be honest with you, as far as I'm concerned, you can't ask for a better place to go than the Lafayette Cajun Dome. Great facility for sports and a great town for sports.
So getting word from our producer, Lyle Boudreau, that the finals is Slidell versus Dominican. So that's interesting and good to know. All the finals will take place tomorrow over at the Cajun Dome. And what we'll do right now is we'll take another short break, and then we're going to break down in a lot of very specific depth the Division I non-select playoff rounds. So stay tuned for that. We'll tell you where everybody is and where everybody's going and a whole lot more. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
It's game time. That's right. Get ready to rev up, raise the bar. Go from 0 to 100. That's why Rev is bringing the speed. Buku speed. High-powered internet speed that tackles every upload, download, and stream. With the most reliable network born right here in Louisiana. All backed by homegrown support. It's time to experience the power of Buku speed. Make the switch to Rev. Visit us at letsrev.com.
Chris's Specialty Foods has you covered for tailgating this season. We do all the prep work so you can spend time enjoying your family and friends. Steaks, burgers, sausage, chicken, wild game, and many other great pork options. Our central location is now open on Wax Road behind the Walmart. And the new Highland location serves hot lunches and has a meeting space for your work team. New Orleans and Millerville are rocking as well. It's fast, affordable, and delicious. It's Chris's Specialty Foods.
Everybody loves Chris's.
We're Rev Business, a local provider with nearly 90 years of experience. So when it comes to business in Louisiana, we know that personalized service is key. And we're here to go the extra mile with all fiber solutions that deliver what every business needs, reliability and quality. We're not just providers. We're the local team dedicated to helping you succeed. True partnerships are homegrown. Rev Business, internet, phone, managed services. Visit us at letsrev.biz.
Welcome back to the Rev Game of the Week. We're about halfway through our halftime and our score. Westgate 14, Santa Maria 6. Jeff Porsche and David Swacker with you. And what we're going to do now is we're going to talk a lot about the Division I non-select playoffs. And we're going to start by taking a look at the top 10 seeds. And so the top seed is Neville. They lost week 10 to Alexandria Senior High, and even though they lost,
it was a 40 or 50 to 17 or something like this.
But even though they lost to Ash, they still stayed at number 1.
Yeah, but the one thing I try to tell people to not panic. You don't know, did the Neville quarterback get hurt? You have no earthly idea what happens in these games, but give Ash, who's probably ranked in the top 2 or 3 in the select, give them credit because they have been annihilating people this year.
Yep.
And part of that was West Monroe. Part of that was rusted.
Exactly.
So and look, let me just tell you, I go all the way back. Going to Northwestern, and I know the Stoker family that was big at Ash, and Joe Morrow, the principal, and I'm going to just tell you, they've always had good athletics at that school.
Yeah, and they have a big it's a big town that they can pull a lot of kids from as well. So there's a lot of talent that comes through that Alexandria area in general. Now, the only D1 non-select school that was unbeaten is the second seed Airline out of Bossier, and they don't have a great defense, but they don't need a great defense because they're putting up 50, 60, 70 a night.
Yeah. And this is what I would say about this. What tells me here is how equal is this group of teams, this group of athletes. You just bypass people like Central, who I think they played Dutchtown early or Catholic, one of the two.
Yeah, it was Catholic.
And I'm going to just tell you, totally outstanding football, great coaching staff.
Yeah.
And then don't bypass Manderville.
Well, they lost their running back, though. That's going to be their problem.
Yeah, but they are 9-1, and a lot of times, that means Southside. I think we went and did that game, East Ascension versus Southside at Turlings a number of years ago.
Yep.
They have done nothing. It seemed like they switched coaches 3 or 4 times.
Well, now they got that guy from Manny, Jess Curtis.
Yeah, and he's an outstanding coach. And, you look at it and say, man, I thought they weren't having much success. This is 7-2 on the year.
Yep.
And this is his first year. And so Northwood out of Shreveport, somebody's going, what is that all about? Well,
that's the 4A district.
Yeah, because I'm used to coach at Minden. You know what? We played Northwood.
Yeah.
Jerry Burton was the head coach. And this is where, Hal Sutton and some of these people, came from. And so Northwood out of Shreveport, 9-1, having a very good year. And that's on the north end of town.
Yeah. But then you got my Bayou district representing.
And I'm just telling you, I hear things about Terrebonne that are totally outstanding. And it seems like for one time they have it going to where they could say they've played with Hanville and Destrehan to a certain extent. And
they're going to meet.
And so, it's going to be nice to see what happens because I believe you're going to have, very good games each and every week, especially going from the quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals in the Dome.
Now our buddy Nolan over here has got a graphic that's going to talk about the Sanamaw bracket. And so we're going to look at that quadrant right now, which features that number 2 seed Airline, and they're the bye team in that little quadrant right there. And so the Westgate Sanamaw winner is going to go to Bossier next week, and that's going to be a tough one because they score so many points. And then you see the other matchups in this quadrant. You got Salmon going to Northwood up in Shreveport, so that's Slidell going up there. Ouachita, North Louisiana, coming down to South Louisiana for a change, I guess. They're Ouachita coming up from Monroe down to Destrehan, and so that's going to be the other matchup. That would be a potential quarterfinal matchup for the winner of this game.
And this is what I'll tell the Sanamaw people back, and I can't give you the exact year.
Right.
But Larry Stewart was our quarterback, and we had Michael Robert and Jared Poirier and Michael Kristoff, some very good players. We went up to Airline, and if you remember this, all you got to do is get on, I-49, and you head up there, and you get on I-20, and you get on the 220 circle around Bossier and Shreveport, and it's in Bossier, which is on the east side of that area up there, and you'll look off to your left, and you'll see Airline High School. And They are having a tremendous year. You know, they have a different looking stadium than you probably ever noticed. It's kind of like a half moon shape. And it seems like Bossier Parish is making a transformation here. It used to be Benton was strong, especially in 3A and 4A. Now they're in 5A. Houghton has won a few state championships, and they've especially when their Dallas Cowboy quarterback was their Zach Prescott, and they've kind of gone down a little bit. Bossier High School is still, you know, not very, very strong, but boy, you look at Parkway. The school used to be right there at the Air Force Base. Now they've rebuilt it south of Bossier, and then Airline just on the complete opposite. So you got Airline on Nobo, as they refer to it, North Bossier, and Parkway on Sobo as the south end of that. A lot of times, you know, that river has almost eliminated a lot of your Shreveport schools in the playoffs to a certain extent.
Well, Airline's got a shot at making it to the Dome. They would be the home team all the way out until you get to the Superdome. Let's look at the other side of that bracket. The 2 seed is going to be paired up with the 3 seed. So that on the 3 seed, you have Ruston, who is going to get the bye. And they're paired up with the winner of the 1914 game, which is Sam Houston and Zachary. Dutchtown is in that quadrant, too. They're the 22-11 game. So Walker and Dutchtown is that game. Walker's winning that game right now. And then you got the other matchup, Live Oak against Southside. So the winner of the Walker-Dutchtown game would likely go to Southside if they can hold off Live Oak. Although that would be interesting if you had Walker or Dutchtown play another district game in the second round. But you know what I like here? Ruston, they play the Sam Houston-Zachary winner. If Zachary wins that, you know what you got in the second round? You got the state championship rematch from last year in the second round.
And who won that?
That would be Ruston.
Yes, indeed. Ruston, you know, my defensive coordinator at Santa Maria, Mark Cavanaugh, he was defensive coordinator at Ruston. Probably's got 5, 6, 7 rings, a lot of state championships with Chick Childress as the head coach. And I'm going to just tell you, you know, the only thing that really screwed up Ruston was this team called West Monroe that all of a sudden appeared. And Neville has always kind of been a 4A school. Sometimes Ruston has been a 4A school, sometimes a 5A school. Now they're all in the same boat right now. Whether they're a 4A or 5A school, they're in the same bracket. So I just think that Ruston, you know, I think they have an outstanding, their facility, that when we did that game up there, no, that was, I think, me and Lyle.
Yeah.
It had been damaged thoroughly with a hurricane. It's, you know, the high school is located right next to the football stadium for Louisiana Tech.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, I think any of those, I think, you know, Neville, Mike Collins, I believe, is running that head coach there. Airline at 10-0. You know, they have 2 receivers that are committed to, one to LSU and one to another Division I school. You know, and I would be interested to see. And then Central, I'm going to just tell you, you cannot count them out. You know, we did the playoff game against Dutchtown and Central, and I'm going to just tell you, it was one heck of a football game.
That was the best football game I've ever covered as a play-by-play announcer. I remember that well with the 2-point conversion unsuccessful at the end. I'll just go through the other brackets real fast, and then we can kind of wrap things up. On the Neville side, they're the 1 seed. They would get the winner of the Barb-Covington game. That's 17-16. Then on the other side of that quadrant, you got Chalmette at Terrebonne, 24 versus 9. Then you got 25 versus 8. That's Bourgeois versus Hanville. So 3 of the 4 teams in that little that little bracket right there are from the Bayou District. And then the other quadrant, you have the 4th seed Central. They would take on the Denham Springs West Washita game. So Denham Springs had a long way to go tonight. And then on the other side, you have West Monroe versus Parkway, and you got Thibodaux versus Mandeville, and that's going to round out our entire LHSAA Division I non-select by district round. So I don't know what else we can tell you, Swag, but I think it's time we take a break. I think you got to be tired from all this talk, huh?
I just would enjoy, you see some of these teams that you hadn't seen in the playoffs, if not very often or not hardly at all. And, I think it's kind of good every once in a while you get some of these teams that, HL Bourgeois, maybe they haven't appeared much in the playoff scene. So
right.
It'll be interesting to see just how all that comes out when we open up that sports page or turn on one of the TV stations to hear some of the scores tonight.
You're right. And we're going to take a break right now as we're a little tired now. We carried that whole halftime on our own, Coach. We did it. Let's take a break. So our score 14-8, Westgate leads Santa Maria. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
It's game time. That's right. Get ready to rev up. Raise the bar. Go from 0 to 100. That's why Rev is bringing the speed. Buku speed. High-powered internet speed that tackles every upload, download, and stream. With the most reliable network born right here in Louisiana. All backed by homegrown support. It's time to experience the power of Buku speed. Make the switch to Rev. Visit us at letsrev.com.
Chris's Specialty Foods has you covered for tailgating this season. We do all the prep work so you can spend time enjoying your family and friends. Steaks, burgers, sausage, chicken, wild game, and many other great pork options. Our central location is now open on Wax Road behind the Walmart. And the new Highland location serves hot lunches and has a meeting space for your work team. New Orleans and Millerville are rocking as well. It's fast, affordable, and delicious. It's Chris's Specialty Foods.
Everybody loves Chris's.
We're Rev Business, a local provider with nearly 90 years of experience. So when it comes to business in Louisiana, we know that personalized service is key. And we're here to go the extra mile with all fiber solutions that deliver what every business needs, reliability and quality. We're not just providers. We're the local team dedicated to helping you succeed. True partnerships are homegrown. Rev Business, internet, phone, managed services. Visit us at letsrev.biz.
So we are ready for the second half in just a couple of minutes. Our score as we head to the third quarter, as you see a great shot right there of Cooper Babin, quarterback for the Gators. They trail Westgate by a score of 14-6. And Westgate scored on their opening drive on a long pass for a touchdown. Well, it was a little short pass out in the flat, and they took it to the house. And then Santa Maria got it to 8-6 on a long touchdown run by Tyree Williams. But then at the very end of the first half, Westgate got another score, and that's where we stand right now, 14-6.
Well, what's going to happen here in the second half? There's one thought. It seems like a lot of kids have been playing a lot of plays, both plays, for Westgate. I may be completely wrong right there. But I just believe that Santa Maria offensively has the right idea. Keep mixing up, run and pass. Get that ball thrown down the field every once in a while. And defensively, I think Santa Maria's doing an outstanding job.
Yeah. They had kind of that pass out in the flat that caught them by surprise because they don't really have a passing quarterback, and that pass kind of caught him flat-footed, I think, and then he took it to the house for that touchdown. But they have done a good job on on defense. They gave up that one touchdown at the end of the first half. They're going to get the ball first to start the second half. So they have a chance to maybe tie it up here if they can take it downfield on this opening possession. Now they're going to be going from right to left to start the second half.
And look, let me just tell you, I know some of the Santa Maria coaches and some of the Santa Maria players. I'm just telling you right now, they went in there saying, we're better than this team.
I can understand that.
And not just to be saying it, but I think, you have to say it, you have to believe it, then you got to go out and prove it.
Well, one thing that Westgate probably had an advantage over Santa Maria in this first half was that you didn't know what you were going to get out of that quarterback spot. And you've seen 3 or 4 different wrinkles out there with 3 or 4 guys taking different snaps, and all of them are like running backs and wide receivers and whatnot. And they probably weren't expecting that. They didn't know what to expect. I think now they can figure out what's going on here.
And I give Coach Antoine full credit. Outstanding schemes that seem to be really working very well for him.
And this is Rizzuto again, and he's going to get to the 27. So good field position for the Gators as they start this second half. We're just underway. Westgate, the underdog and the road team tonight, they're winning 14-6. They haven't trailed all night here at the pit. So now we'll see if Santa Maria can answer. They are down 1 possession, 8 points. So a score here and a 2-point conversion could tie this game. And it looks like Babin tried to keep it, but he was going nowhere as they read that, and he got a big loss.
And that was Benjamin. Nice tackle right there, because I think Babin goes for yardage right there if Benjamin does not make that tackle.
So it's a loss of 6 back to the 21-yard line. So it's 2nd down and 16. This is a hole you don't want to be in right now, because now you're in an obvious passing situation. They're 1 deep right now with 1 safety. And they're going deep, the fade, and the receiver's there. Elisar, it's underthrown. And number 6 on the coverage, Makai Wells. Good job by him. So let's look at the replay. You see the fade coming.
Good protection right there. And probably a good job by Elazar, maybe playing a little DB, defensive back right there.
So now it's 3rd down and long, and this is not what you wanted to be in, with a chance to even the score. So the Westgate defense trying to make a stand. Again, 1 deep. And they're going to go fade the other way, and the receiver will not get to him as the safety jumped the route. And that was number 21.
Excellent job by the free safety right there.
That's Shadon Lee. We see him coming. Johnson was the intended receiver, but Lee made up a lot of ground right there. And it's 4th down. But there's a flag. And this looks like a sideline warning. Well, unsportsmanlike. Okay. That the public address announcer has said it's an unsportsmanlike penalty. Let's see how they assess it. This could be a disaster drive right here if they assess a penalty, but it looks like, I think it was. Yeah, okay, now here you go. This is not good for Santa Maria.
Well, it's going to be half the distance to the goal. Get to the 11-yard line.
And Westgate's going to have great field position, barring something unusual. Fierro to punt. And it's a line drive. And it takes a bounce, and then it's picked up at the 47. Breaks a tackle to the 40, to the 30, turns the corner, and inside the red zone, Amari Simon. And this is about as good a start to the second half as Westgate could expect.
I'm not a big fan of picking that ball up on the run like that, but I'm going to tell you what. He made something that could have been bad very, very good on the return down the sideline, stopping that ball from rolling, picking it up. And
you know who made the tackle and stopped him from getting into the end zone? That was Fierro, the punter. So he saved the day after the punt. So now first down. And the quarterback out of the Wildcat, Tavius Gordon, will not get much. He'll lose yardage. So let's look at the replay there. I think that's Carpenter that made the tackle, right?
Right here.
Yep.
Good job by Carpenter holding on.
So that's a loss of 3. Any score here for Westgate would make it a 2-possession game. So it's important that they get points out of this. Benjamin's at quarterback now. And he's going to throw the pass to the end zone, up for grabs, and picked off. And Santa Ma's defense saves the day, because that could have been a big game changer right there, and that is number 9, Easton Humphrey, with the interception.
Well, Humphrey has had a tremendous year this year, and I would have to tell Humphrey, I know that ball wasn't coming too hot at you, okay? Great job of getting under it, not being fooled with so many runs right there. And Humphrey, a senior, making 65-plus tackles on the year.
And that might have saved their season.
Well, you got to be telling your offense, we got to get it going here.
Yep. So you had, it looks like, an injury as one of the Westgate players is walking very slowly back to the sidelines. So you got to feel pretty lucky if you're Santa Ma right here, because you had a bad, unsuccessful first drive. Then you had a punt return that got it into the red zone, and you didn't give up any points. And now it's still a 1-possession game. If you make it 17-6 or 21-6, you're in a hole big time right here. So now Babin has a chance to maybe get an equalizer. But they got to go 95 yards. And he's going to keep it. He's got tons of room. He's to the 30. Then he cuts inside to the 32-yard line before he's tackled by number 25, John Dotree.
Well, watch the defensive end right here. He goes hard inside. He just pulls it. All they're doing, quarterback, is just reading that defensive end. If he goes inside, you see this on Saturday, you see this on Sunday, and now you see it on Friday night.
Big play and a whistle. So I'll say this right here. He's not as fast as Tyree Williams, but he did a good job. Tyree Williams would have had that. That might have gone a lot longer.
Well, let me just tell you, if you don't read that right, you're not going to be as fast as me or you.
No, you can't be as – you can't go nearly as slow. Nope, and there's going to be a penalty right here, and it's going to be assessed against the Gators. False start. So it's 1st and 15. You got to stop these costly penalties, Coach. And another keeper by Babin. But this time, Big Ten, Dytravius Lively makes the tackle.
We saw that play in the first half. It was very successful. Not as successful here, but you pick up 5 or 6 yards here on the play.
So it's going to be 2nd and 10. Ball at the 32. It's Westgate 14, Santa Ma 6. Man in motion. Hand off. And that's the play that Williams broke in the second quarter, but that time they closed the gap quickly.
Westgate, outstanding job in the A and B gap between the centers, guards, and tackles, stopping that for basically a loss. Well, maybe no gain.
It's 3rd and 8. Got to get to the 42 for a first down. 8:07 left to go in the third quarter. Still plenty of time. Shotgun, pressure, throws a pass, and he kind of had to get rid of that quickly as there was lots of pressure, and Elazar, it was at his feet, could not get to it.
Well, Elazar was coming across the field and got it moved out a little ways where you're not in the end zone punting like we were in the last session.
So you're going to get better field position on defense. That nearly went over his head, though. So Fierro does a good job just getting that away, and it's going to bounce out at the 40-yard line. So the first possession in the second half for Westgate started in the red zone. Now that's going to start on their side of the field. You got to be happy for that if you are a Santa Maria
that's
fan.
your goal, and of course, Santa Maria's blessed. Just like probably most of the people in 5-5A with a very good kicking game.
Yep. So now you got in the backfield Gordon, Abear, and Jackson. And this is Abear. And he breaks a tackle. He's past midfield. He's to the 40. And then he's taken down hard on defense for the Gators by number 5, Ricks. As you see the replay right there. Broke a tackle. Ricks came in from his corner spot. And it's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. And they jumped again. But they don't call it. Still plenty of time on the play clock. Gordon to Abear, and it's a similar play, and he's down inside the 20, down inside the 10, and stood up. 1st and goal for Westgate. They are coming out with some passion.
Simple fullback dive. Nice blocking right there by the offensive line. And the running back makes a little cut back to the left right there, and some open territory.
So we're approaching the halfway point in the third quarter. Westgate trying to make it a 2-score game. Nearly jumped again. Did not. It's Gordon under center. Low snap, cuts outside, and a flag goes down. And he's going to go out of bounds. This may come back, right, Coach?
Well, it's Travis Gordon, or Tavares.
Yeah, I think there was a hold. I think they got a hold of Carpenter right there. Looks like Vital, number 71. So that's a break. I thought that's what they call. They haven't assessed a penalty yet. Now they are. So now the ball at the 18. So 1st and goal from the 18.
4 receivers to the right.
Gordon left. And he's going to get into the end zone untouched. And Westgate extends their lead 20-6. And they are celebrating as they try to make it a 15-point game. So Thibodeau will kick the extra point. And the pressure up the middle, unsuccessful, and the extra point is good. It's 21-6, 5:53 left to go in the third. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
From jambalaya, pastalaya, and gumbo to daily lunch specials, Pot and Paddle Jambalaya Kitchen has Cajun dishes to satisfy your hunger. Pot and Paddle has 3 locations to serve you, including the one on Cabela's Parkway in Gonzales, Jefferson Highway near Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, and Jubin Crossing in Denham Springs. You can dine in, carry out, or let them do the catering for an office get-together or tailgating at the big game. And don't forget about their delicious daily lunch specials. You can check out their specials and more on the web at potandpaddle.com.
It's 21-6 as Westgate extends the lead. It's a 2-score game right now. Things not looking good in Ascension Parish as Santa Maria goes down 2 scores and Dutchtown is down 2 scores, Coach.
Yeah, still got a quarter and a half left.
And now you got Rizzuto gets through the first wave, but the second wave gets him at the 20. But he's going to keep bouncing ahead. So now, is this a must-score drive right here?
I don't think it's a must-score, but I just think that you need to do a better job, be a little bit more consistent, and when you look at the scores of their games right here. There's always a lot of points seem to be scored.
And there's a pass completed very quickly to Timothy Johnson Jr. He is the leading receiver for the Gators as a flag is down. Or an injury, excuse me.
17, I believe it is.
Yeah, sorry about that. So the injury is going to give us a break, and we're going to keep it here. So number 17 for Westgate is Mitchell. He is a freshman.
Well, you got 2 17s.
Yeah, so there might be another guy as well.
You got
yeah, that's probably Claymont, the DB. Yeah. Okay. Now you were talking about the teams, and Santa Maria in their last 5 seasons. They were very successful last year. They won district, a share of the district title, and then they won in the first round, and then they lost in the second round at Mandeville. They went 4-6 in 2022 and then lost in the first round. Then they got to the regionals in 2021, another very successful season, and but they've been to the playoffs 4 years in a row, and this is their 5th year in a row.
And sure, everybody wants to be better and stuff like this, and but Coach Oliver, they put out a nice team year in and year out. Very good coaching staff. Kids work hard, and it's a good game to watch each and every week.
Yep. They've improved a lot from week 1. They had a tough game against Byrd week 1, and you didn't know what was going to happen because you lost your top receiver, Jermichael Million, right away, but they have recovered nicely and got a share of the district title. As you see the little shove on 3rd down over to Williams, and that just kind of looked a little bit confusing right there. As you see the replay. So Williams goes in motion to the right, and then he's about to lose yardage right there, so Babin has to get rid of it, and Williams can't do much with it.
So basically you have a choice of running the option out there and pitching it till you run it back like they did, or faking the pitch and the quarterback keeping it like he's done on 2 occasions.
Fierro This is his nicest punt of the night by a mile. That goes over the returner's head, and he's able to get back on it barely. This is what you don't like to do, right? Chase it and then go get it down, right?
Yeah, the ball kind of fooled him a little bit, and
well, Walker scored again. It's 34-14 over at Dutchtown. Walker has had a number on Dutchtown over the last few years. 1st and 10 for Westgate. And it happened again. You know, Coach, I agreed with you, and I believed 100% that Westgate was going to come out a little tired, maybe get a little slow as you go, because a lot of these guys are playing a lot of positions. They look fresh.
Well, I think they're having some just like that jumping off sides. That's happened a number of times, and basically, and Coach Antoine's done an outstanding job mixing it up in crucial situations or in 1st and 10. So that kind of rejuvenates your team.
Gordon hands it off and clobbered. And that was Carpenter again. No, that was actually number 88. Correction. That was Abear.
Good job there by the lineman, not getting driven back. And then, of course, your linebackers come in there and make a play.
You lost 2. 2nd and 7. And the quarterback's going to throw deep right, and it's underthrown and picked off again. And he's got to the 35, to the 30, and he's going to cut inside down to the 25. That's the 2nd pick of the night for Easton Humphrey. He's trying to save this season, Coach.
Well, I'm going to just tell you, it's just like your center fielder in baseball. He can make a lot of things happen for you. He can erase a lot of mistakes.
There's a flag on the play. And Santa Ma's frustrated. I think it's going to be pushed. It's going to be Westgate possession. So it's going to happen before the play. Oh, no. So we're being told unsportsmanlike conduct by the public address announcer. And that is, well, no, it is going to be, okay, so it is after the play. Okay, so now we see Babin coming on the field. I was about to say, I thought that that Westgate was setting up on offense, but no, okay, it is. So it's just a penalty that's going to be assessed after the interception return. So that's my bad right there. Sorry about that, Coach. 1st and 10. And dropped. And a late tackle that was unnecessary. And now they're going to get a 2nd penalty because they just did the Gator chomp. That's the 2nd time we've seen that. We saw that after the touchdown too. There's a 3rd flag over at the 30-yard line. So there's 3 flags on this play. And there's a 4th flag. Anybody else have any laundry out there?
Very, very disappointing.
Yep.
Hadn't had a play run, and we've got about 10 penalties, and one of them went against the Gators, and I'm not sure where the other 5 or 6 are going to go.
I think you got the late hit on the quarterback, throwing him to the ground.
I got
then
that.
You got the Gator chomp.
All right.
And then I think one of them mouthed off to the officials, and then there may be a penalty. The other one may be on the Gators.
Well, the officials are getting together because I'm going to tell you they could referee 100,000 games. They may never have a situation like this.
Yeah. I think at least 3 of these penalties are going against Westgate. So unnecessary roughness, Westgate. You knew that. Unsportsmanlike, that's the Gator chomp. Then you got the fussing. So you got 3 unsportsmanlikes. So but it'll probably take it to about the 25. You might be inside the 10 after you do 3 half the distances, or 2 half the distances.
So, you know what the key to me is, what I'm wondering? Who is this going to be better for? Sanoma? Who's going to take advantage of it? Sanoma or the Tigers from Westgate? Because Sanoma knows that they started out running the ball. They can run the ball. Now, are they going to be packed up in there where it's going to be a lot tougher?
You just wonder if Westgate's going to lose their cool right here.
Well, I think they kind of already lost their cool.
A little more than, yeah, you're right. Hand off. Inside to the 5. A couple of Westgate players were arguing that they came up with the football. They did not. 2:45 left to go. It's 21-6. Getting to crunch time here late in the third quarter. This is Santoma's chance to get back in this game. 2nd and goal. And there's a little shovel pass into the corner. No signal. Touchdown, Gators. Quentin Elisar on the little shovel pass. That'll make it 21-12. What do you think, Coach?
Well,
looked like he got in, right?
I couldn't see that part right there, but it didn't look like he had the corner to me. But I'm trying to subtract 12 from 21, see what we get.
They're going to go for the extra point and make it an 8-point game.
Okay, thank you.
So Fierro's going to kick.
This guy's been almost automatic all year.
Still is. So it's 21-13, and we're going to break right now. Sanoma trying to come back. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
From jambalaya, pastalaya, and gumbo to daily lunch specials, Pot and Paddle Jambalaya Kitchen has Cajun dishes to satisfy your hunger. Pot and Paddle has 3 locations to serve you, including the one on Cabela's Parkway in Gonzales, Jefferson Highway near Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, and Jubin Crossing in Denham Springs. You can dine in, carry out, or let them do the catering for an office get-together or tailgating at the big game. And don't forget about their delicious daily lunch specials. You can check out their specials and more on the web at potandpaddle.com.
Sanoma gets it to 8, 21-13, with the help of something you almost never see. 3 personal fouls called against Westgate on one play. They gave them a 1st and goal, and they were able to capitalize.
Yeah, and that I'm sure Coach Antoine, as much success as he's had over the years in coaching, probably hadn't seen his kids do that. But, you know, when you got the Gator chomp, I guess it could be a plus and it could be a minus.
Yep. So the little pooch kick to the 26, trying to get outside. He does. No flags on the field right now. And that is Robinson. He scored the opening touchdown of tonight on that little pass to the flat. He's going to give Westgate good field position.
Well, you know, this is something I'm watching. The white hat, he sprinted from his back of the end zone position all the way to the tackle out of bounds just to make sure nothing was done, you know, that deserved a flag or whatever.
And there was a flag. And it's going to be against Westgate. I never saw the flag. It must have been on that far side. So the good field position is negated. It's still pretty good field position. Well, maybe not now, and they're pushing it back. And that Gator chomp fired up the home team. It usually does, but they're doing it, not the opponent. You know you're not playing district play because no team in Ascension Parish would want to do that to Santamon and fire them up.
Well, it ought to be interesting to see what happens.
1st and 10 from the 19. Just don't jump off sides. They didn't. And the pass deflected but caught by Hebert. 1st down. And then out of bounds and pushed at the last minute by Miet. 1st and 10. That pass was deflected. And
interesting play.
Yeah, you wonder about that. What do you think?
I thought it was a nice call and, got a little lucky with it, but well executed.
Yeah, the deflection went straight to the intended receiver.
They have run the ball and had legitimate success, and that little fake and that little pitch right there was there.
Gordon, Hebert in motion. Handoff. And a gain of about 3. That was Jackson on the carry. We're coming inside of 1 minute. It's 21-13. Westgate leads Santamon. 18 leads 15. 2nd and 8, we'll call it. Gordon from the shotgun. And he's going to keep it, and he's going to have the little pass, and that's past the line of scrimmage. That went forward. That's coming back. That's going to be a loss of down. He got past Carpenter, and he was past the line of scrimmage. Let's look.
Well, he was, just exactly what you just said.
You can see the marker. He threw it past the line of scrimmage. And his full body was across the line of scrimmage.
And that is the key right there. Every one of your toes and your heel and your hands all got to be past that line of scrimmage.
I believe that's a loss of down, correct? It's a 10-yard penalty. The marker says 2nd down.
I'm just surprised that, more vertical routes haven't been tried. As you see, it's man-to-man on both sides here. You're not getting any help.
They don't expect them to throw very much anymore because most of their passes have either been deflected or intercepted lately. That was 24, Joshua John. He's going to lose yards on the final play of the 3rd quarter. I seriously doubt that Westgate's in a hurry right here. So at the end of 3, there it is, 0. So at the end of 3, it's Westgate 21, Santamon 13. So let's break and come right back. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
It's game time. That's right. Get ready to rev up. Raise the bar. Go from 0 to 100. That's why Rev is bringing the speed. Buku speed. High-powered internet speed that tackles every upload, download, and stream. With the most reliable network born right here in Louisiana. All backed by homegrown support. It's time to experience the power of Buku speed. Make the switch to Rev. Visit us at letsrev.com.
The 4th quarter begins. Westgate has the lead, but it's 3rd and long. Let's talk about Westgate for a minute because people aren't familiar with them around here because they're a 4A school from Lafayette, but you're going to recognize a lot of these teams they play. Turlings and St. Thomas More back-to-back losses, but they play Lafayette Christian. That's a team that's been to the Dome. St. Martinville has been good in the past. So there's a lot of teams they play that have been pretty good.
And you see these teams towards the end, it's all there. And you say Como, they haven't been very good in a long time. And Northside's in the same boat. So you can see where they're scoring some points. against, their district opponents. And then on the other side of that, when you face the St. Thomas Moors, just like everybody else does, and the Turlings, Turling's been number one almost the entire season in the 4A ranks.
3rd and about 20 for the Tigers. Do they try to throw the ball here, or do they just stay conservative? On the ground, quarterback's rolling out. He's going to throw, and he's got a receiver open, and he's going to get about 13. So that's key right there to getting a good punt and good field position.
And, the thing that I was thinking, if you stop them right here and they have to punt from, let's say, their 10-yard line from where the punter's going to stand, you can easily get that ball around the 50-yard line as compared to some of these drives Santa Ma's had where, you got a long ways to go to be good in order to score.
And that was John on the reception, Joshua John. Thibodeau is going to punt for Westgate. And it's a sideways punt that rolls out of bounds, and Santa Ma's going to get good field position. And so now they are one score. They are one score away from potentially tying this game with a 2-point conversion. And we're 1 minute into the 4th quarter, so there's still lots of time. Babin had the little shovel pass touchdown to Elisar from about 5 yards out to cut it to 21-13 on their last possession. And Babin's going to throw. He's got time and push down from behind and incomplete. That was Johnson.
I tell you what, they've done a good job coverage-wise.
Yep. They have good players at that corner position. As you had that little short cross, but they were able to keep up with Johnson. Like we said, Johnson was the top receiver, 627 yards and 8 touchdowns. Pretty silent tonight so far, though. Babin's going to keep it, and he's got lots of room. He's going to turn the corner. He's going to get to the 48, 49. It's going to be 3rd and 1. Maybe 2 down territory right here. Clock running, 10:50 left to go. So maybe looking for 19 right here, Coach. Tyree Williams, he has the lone touchdown on the ground tonight for the Gators. Man in motion. And there he is. 1st down, Gators.
Hey, when you wonder about that, you think it's a 1st down. You always check that head linesman where the down box is.
Yep.
He's the one that's marking it right there, and he went. He gave the little wave. 1st down. Let's get going here.
Yep. So the drive keeps going, but the clock keeps moving with the run. 10.5 minutes. And that's Williams, and he can't get outside. That number 10 is a player.
Nice tackle right there.
So that's that guy Lively. He got the 2-point conversion in the 1st quarter, and he's got plenty of tackles. He also had some nice runs earlier in the game. That's one of those guys you would think would be getting tired, Coach. Didn't look tired right there.
I tell you what, he made a heck of a tackle right there on Tyree.
Dar came out.
10 seconds.
Rizzuto comes in. 4 receivers. And Babin's going to keep it, fakes the pitch, and that didn't go far. And guess who? Travius Lively.
Well, I thought he had a nice look on the outside right there.
I really like the way that guy plays football.
Here's a big substitution change.
3rd and 9. 9:08 left to go. 4 receivers. Williams in the backfield with Babin. Time. And the little slant inside to Rizzuto is incomplete. It's 4th and long. They may punt it here. Let's see. The offense is staying on the field. Clock is stopped at 8:46. They're going to punt. I think that's the right call.
Very much so.
It's not panic time yet.
You know, you would say the passing game just has not been, you know, consistently good enough to say 4th and 10 we could go for this.
No, the DBs are doing a good job. You talked about that tonight. And another great punt for Fierro. And bounces inside the 5.
And Fierro, nice job right there.
So Fierro has put off 2 beauties in a row. He had some line drives, and he's had some boomers.
Yeah, extra points. He is 30 out of 31. That's impressive.
Yep.
In high school.
Absolutely.
30 out of 31.
Even in the NFL, they miss extra points occasionally, once or twice a year.
Yeah.
And he's only missed 1. So the ball's at about the 4, it looks like.
And his longest punt probably has been tonight, but before this, 51 yards.
And the back keeps it. And that was Lively, I think, yes. The guy that never gets tired. If you want to look at a possible MVP for tonight, he might be the guy because he's done it all.
You know, and I'm going to just tell you, you know, the crazy thing about this playoff system, and I guess I just don't quite understand it, but, you know, this team of Westgate, let's just say 1,100 students maybe, they're going to have to go against people twice their size.
Yep. And on the road in Shreveport if they win tonight. That's still up in the air, but if they keep running Lively, they're getting closer. So you see him again, Lively, the middle linebacker. And he was brought down by number 13 for the Gators.
Lively is looking a little bit more lively right now.
Yep. That was Delahaye with the tackle. 2nd and 1. And now their more traditional back coming out of the Wildcat, Gordon, Tavius Gordon. And it's close to a first down. I think they're signaling move the chains. Yes, they are. So now the clock starts to become a friend for Westgate. They lead 21-13, almost halfway through this 4th quarter.
So you know you need to wonder because Coach Antoine's got to be thinking, we have moved this ball from the 5-yard line, run to the right, run to the right, run to the right. Then we run to the left and we don't get anything. Maybe we just need to stay to the right here.
This is Lively again. Just runs over the D lineman, runs over another guy, and he's past midfield. They have no answer for this guy. He's one of those stud athletes that you see every now and then.
Well, (34-14) Walker ahead.
Getting to the halfway point now.
I know one thing. We saw one. I'd hate to even say this, but I'm going to say it. That was a little bit better than Lively, and that was Hanbury last year for Dutchtown.
Yeah, he single-handedly carried them
special.
all the way to the semis. And about 8 on the carry by Tran and Benjamin. And they are just chewing this clock up. Santa Maria has 3 timeouts. And now you're in a situation where if you start thinking about the punt, Santa Maria will not have good field position if they get this ball back unless they get a turnover very quickly. Now, Easton Humphrey has 2 interceptions. I would not throw this ball for the rest of the night if I were Westgate, though.
Well, they don't throw it much anyway to start with, and then I'm not real certain who the throwing quarterback is.
I think one of them was
number 3.
No, he didn't throw the interceptions. One of them was number 4. As you're not going to get the first down right here, so it's going to be 3rd down. Gordon threw one of the interceptions. That was Benjamin on the carry. I want to say that I'm not sure which one it was, actually. What's that?
Your boy Lively, he walked off the bench. He hollered at his coach. He pointed to himself and walked in the huddle. Let's see what happens here.
4:30 left to go. If you get a first down, that clock is going to be to about 2 minutes at the end of the next series of downs. And here comes Lively. Everybody knows he's getting the ball. First down. He has some extra adrenaline. He's going to need all the icy hot tonight, I think, because he's just leaving it all out on the field. .352. Now Santa Maria's got to start thinking about calling timeouts. Lively is in the shotgun. And we got some movement. There's some sort of illegal procedure. I think that they're going to call it on the receiver on the near side because he kind of had his hands up like what? You kidding?
Me?
Mm-hmm. I didn't do that. Yes, you did. I think he may have crossed the line of scrimmage. That's Jackson. Now he's lined up on the right side. And I saw him look at the official. Am I good? Am I good? Yeah, you're good. But it's 1st and 15. Lively, 3:33 on the clock. And they're going to run it. They snap it at 10. Lively, first down. They can't stop him. Santa Maria season is melting away if they can't make a stop. Clock at 3:12, and there's the first timeout. So Santa Maria needs a turnover badly. Santa Maria on their season, let's look at their schedule and let's look at how they have done this year. And like I said, they started out, it looked like it was going to be a little bit of trouble this year because they started with the loss to Byrd, and in week 2 they lost to Kennedy. But then Kennedy had to forfeit that game. And so they got a win out of that. Then they came back and beat Scotlandville in a barn burner. Then they had the 21-0 lead on Dutchtown. They couldn't close the deal. And then after that, they kept on winning.
Yeah, it's, the East Associated game, like Coach Oliver said, could have gone one way or the other. Live Oak was kind of close in the first half, and then they just kind of went their way. The Prairieville, I guess you saw that game.
Yeah, I covered that one.
I'm not real sure how anybody could really execute as much rain.
It was a weather game for sure.
But, they did a good job, and boy, they then finished up the year playing about as good as they played all year against Denham Springs.
Lively is out.
Oh, he's just resting right now.
Yeah, they're going to save him for third down. This is Benjamin.
Got your tight end on the right.
And Benjamin's going to try the right side. He's to the 10. He's going to score. Touchdown. And now Santa Ma is in big trouble. 27-13. So Trandon Benjamin scores for the Tigers. And both teams in Ascension Parish that remain are in a hole. Here comes the extra point. Jake Thibodeau. And it is good, and we will take a break. 27-13, Westgate leads Santa Ma. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
From jambalaya, pastalaya, and gumbo to daily lunch specials, Pot and Paddle Jambalaya Kitchen has Cajun dishes to satisfy your hunger. Pot and Paddle has 3 locations to serve you, including the one on Cabela's Parkway in Gonzales, Jefferson Highway near Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, and Jubin Crossing in Denham Springs. You can dine in, carry out, or let them do the catering for an office get-together or tailgating at the big game. And don't forget about their delicious daily lunch specials. You can check out their specials and more on the web at potandpaddle.com.
Westgate winning 28-13 over Santa Ma. Santa Ma will get the ball on the kickoff, but they have to score twice. So they have to score, they have 2 timeouts, and then they have to recover an onside kick, or else they will be eliminated in the first round of the LHSAA playoffs. And so here comes Thibodeau to kick, and it's going to be taken at the 12 by Rizzuto, and he gets to about the 20. And Coach, we both thought that Westgate would get tired. They did not get tired, and the guy that's been on the field the most is the guy that has kind of put this game out of reach.
Well, you know, there's no doubt that Lively's been totally spectacular, but I will say this. The offensive game plan was just totally outstanding. It wasn't perfect all the time, but you always had an athlete that had the ball that could make a play.
And this team is playing without Jabori Antoine, who is the best cornerback in the state of Louisiana and their starting quarterback, and a commitment to Miami. So you know he's good. They didn't need him tonight so far. Pass is incomplete. Elisar was the intended receiver. So Westgate kind of had to make this up on the fly. And we didn't know coming into the start of tonight's game who would play quarterback. And they really hadn't had a quarterback back there. They run a lot of wildcat. But they never had a pure quarterback. Their pure quarterback is a freshman that they have left, and he hasn't seen the field tonight. Babbitt on second down, pressure. Rolls out, and he's going to have to get rid of it. Incomplete.
Well, if you just look over there, there's nobody open.
Yeah.
You know,
suffocating man coverage.
No place to go to.
And so you got 2 downs to make this, and if they don't make it, it's not going to be good news for the Gators. Dutchtown did score, but it's 34-20 with 3 minutes left over there. So they're both, they had to use one of their timeouts right there because the play clock was about to expire. And so let's take a look during this timeout at where Westgate has been over the last few seasons. They're the state champions in 2021. That was a D2 state championship. Then they moved up to D1, and they made the semifinals 1 year later. They made the regionals last year. You see that state championship right there. this is a team that kind of just hangs around. You see their records aren't great. They lose 4 or 5 games a season, it looks like. They lost 2 this year. But they're kind of in the they seem like they're in the middle of the pack, but then when they get to the playoffs, they're one of those teams that has that extra push.
Well, when they split New Iberia up, and I'm going to just say 20, 25 years ago, New Iberia was a school that had a lot of talent, a lot of students.
Yep.
And it looks like this is kind of materialized over, because kind of New Iberia, I'm not going to say they haven't done anything.
They haven't done as much.
And Westgate has, run the gambit, and they've done some nice things. Coach Antoine has been outstanding. It's pretty obvious. And I'm just looking at, in the passing game, who to throw to right here. Because, I know they got 2 safeties deep. But, I'm telling you, man, they are covered. And if their best corner is going to Miami or LSU, wherever he's going, and he's not playing because he's hurt or whatever, it's pretty obvious that maybe he's coaching them up in practice, because their secondary is doing an outstanding job.
Shotgun and a first down plus to midfield. And what I've noticed here is you got a lot of targets to LSR and you have a few to Johnson, but they haven't. I don't think Caven Taylor's had a target tonight. I don't think Reed Myers has had a target. And those are guys that are key assets on this team that the defense has kind of taken away from them. 1st and 10. And the pass is complete to the 25. Is that Myers? I think it is. Yep. So his first.
I'm not real certain how you don't call pass interference on that. But anyway, they caught it, and we move on. Right down the middle of the field.
He had to wait, and the crossing route is right in the path of the official. They're trying to get to Myers again.
Well, usually the thing is, the 2 safeties right here is you try to get, between the safeties. Of course, it's man-to-man or 2-man, whatever you want to call it. And that middle area is open, but you're going to have to really make a good throw and catch.
2nd and 10, and they got to get rid of it quickly, and they do. And there's Johnson. Gets inside the 30. It's going to be 3rd down and about 4. And you've reached a point now where if Santa Maria doesn't score and they give up the football, then this game is over, because
no doubt,
because there's 1 timeout left and a minute and a half on the clock. So they have to score, and they have to score twice. Fake. Pressure, runs into his back and falls down. So Williams was in the way right there, trying to find somebody to block, and now it's 4th down. And now the whole season may rest on this play. And there's the last timeout. And so, like we said earlier, this is perhaps our final broadcast of the night. Well, it's definitely the last broadcast of the night, but maybe the last football broadcast of the season, as we look ahead at our schedule and our Rev game of the week. Well, we don't have one probably next week if everything goes the way that it seems to be going, but we're going to get to the winter sports schedule. And so around Thanksgiving break, we're going to start to probably hit our schedule at full speed ahead for boys and girls basketball and boys and girls soccer. It'd be nice to have Jolie out here to join us for soccer, and, of course, you and I will be doing the basketball.
Well, I think she's probably over there in the student section trying to lead some cheers.
Yep, trying. It looks like a lot of people are starting to think about leaving, but Sandoval fans aren't gonna leave without a fight, and they're gonna stay out here because this could be the seniors' last game if they don't convert on this play right here. And they are close. That's a first down. So they move on. Elazar,
nice little route, goes in motion, gets between the two safeties. Nice little pitching catch.
And we have a whistle. And Westgate has called a timeout. Let's look at that bracket again, Nolan, if you have it. The one about the non-select by district round, and look at the bracket so you can see what's going on here. Sandoval still trying to stay alive, but Westgate, if they win or if Sandoval wins, whatever team that is, again, they're going to Bossier. And that's going to be a long trip but at least it's the Friday before Thanksgiving break.
And I will say this, airline, just with my boring life sometimes, I just check those scores out. And, coached in North Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
And airline from time to time, they have good athletics. And lo and behold, they have two heck of receivers.
Yep. And a pass to the end zone, dropped.
And I'm just telling you, I'm just wondering if they do match up here, how they match up with these defensive backs.
Mm-hmm. That could be fun. Because these guys play good man coverage. 2nd and 10. Babin. And the receiver trips, and there's a flag. That was Elazar. Feet got tangled up with Simon.
You see Elazar 80 going running the corner route.
So that's a break for the Gators.
Never know what might happen.
This game is not over yet. Sandoval's got to score pretty quickly, and you can tell that they know that because they're going toward the end zone at this point in the game. So the ball at the 11.
First down near the 11-yard line of the Tigers.
First and 10, 50 seconds remaining. To the end zone, and it is caught for the touchdown. Timothy Johnson Jr. and Sandoval still alive. It's 28-19. An extra point would make it an 8-point game and a 1-score game. So we'll see if they go with Fierro right here or they go for 2. And there's Fierro. He's a little late.
Well, this is crucial right here.
Yep, because it would be a 1-score game. And it is a 1-score game, so it's 28-20. So Sandoval still has life, but they have to recover the onside kick. So let's keep it here, and let's talk about the options here. What goes on here? You're going to see the onside kick, right?
Well, I can remember a game we had against, oh, Lord.
They're trying to inspire the crowd, I think.
I can remember a game against Walker. We scored 3 times in the last minute and 20 or 30 seconds. And, of course, it all has to start with the onside kick.
So if Westgate recovers the onside kick, then this game is over. Fierro likely going right. And a timeout.
Yeah, good call right there, just to kind of see what's going on. And it looked, you had people moving to the left. It looked like he was kicking it to the right. I'm not sure, what the call is on that, but I'm going to just tell you, this is what this guy does every day in practice.
Yep.
And maybe he practices some over here at the pit.
Well,
and you ought to have things that you're aiming at. You do that every place you go as a kicker. Especially if we used to kick a lot of onside kicks, and boy, it's nice having someone, and we always were blessed with very special kickers. And like this, the guy on the end of this line, number 5, his job is to not recover the kick. His job is to make sure it doesn't go out of bounds.
Right.
And if you have to recover it, do it before it goes out of bounds.
That's Caleb Ricks. Here we go. And they're going to go right. And it's off of a player, and it's recovered by the Gators.
Nice kick.
Easton Humphrey. 2 interceptions and an onside kick recovery.
No timeouts. Is that it?
Yep. No, they're at 0.
Well executed right there. I don't know who's in charge of the kicking game, but I'm going to just tell you, the man that's been on fire from extra points throughout the 11 games this year came through again.
40 seconds, 51 yards, 8 points behind. That's our situation. 0 timeouts. If Westgate gets the ball, this game's over. Babin all day, and he's going to run, and he's only going to get a few.
Good job there by number 90.
And they're going to have to hustle. Number 90 makes the tackle. Chance Archangel. So now it's 3rd down. 23 seconds left. You hate that took so long to materialize.
You want to maybe try to throw it and hope for a reception or hope for interference.
Shotgun. Looking left, now flushed, and he's going to throw it out of bounds. One more play. 17 seconds. You're probably not in a situation where you're going to heave the Hail Mary right here. You're going to have to probably get a few yards and move the chains first.
Well, the problem that you have is your linebackers, you got 3 guys rushing, that's it.
Yeah.
And your linebackers are playing deep, so that cuts off that deep throw down the middle between the 2 safeties.
Fourth down, and there's the last timeout called. So they're going to probably move that clock back because I think the clock started to run. And so if a team from Ascension Parish is going to advance in the Division I non-select playoffs, it has to be Santa Maria because Dutchtown's out. They lost to Walker 41-27. So one of the two co-champions is out. The other co-champion needs a miracle. They're 48 yards away on 4th down with 17 seconds left. If they don't convert this 4th down, then they're going to be eliminated. They've been flirting with it all night, but they have a chance. Fourth down, 3 receivers right, 1 receiver left, 1 back. And they're going deep. Heaving up a Hail Mary, up for grabs, and it is incomplete. No flags that I see. And Westgate's going to win this game. And you have an injury on the field, 2 injuries, and they're both number 10, and those are the 2 leaders of both of these teams, Travius Lively and Cooper Babin. And they're like about 3 yards apart from each other. And you want to talk about 2 guys that left it on the field tonight. Lively hurt his ankle. Babin's probably just exhausted with 9 seconds left to go. So it looks like Westgate's going to go to Bossier next week. And Santa Maria's season will be over. So 1 snap. That's all that's left. And Ascension Parish in 5-5A has been eliminated from the postseason. As Santa Maria is going to lose 28-20 to Westgate. That's our final score. And Santa Maria is going to line up for the handshake. And we're going to keep it here because we don't want to miss the final alma mater of the season. Final alma mater for these senior players. And they've had a lot of really good senior players here at Santa Maria that have played their last game. And you want to kind of pay tribute to some of those guys. Some of these linemen like Austin Baxter, Braden Kling, Elijah Thornton, Tyree Williams playing his last game tonight, Timothy Johnson Jr. All these guys on offense and on defense. Gavin Carpenter, he left it all out there tonight. Gavin Abair, Evan Williams, Wesley Dykes, Anthony Salzarulo, Easton Humphrey. He had maybe his best game ever. Caleb Ricks. All these guys did a good job tonight, even though they're on the losing end.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was a heck of a game going all the way down to the end. But I guess I can't say enough, Coach Antoine, just exactly because I haven't seen, film of previous games or whatever. And then the part where I think I might have made a mistake, they lost to St. Thomas More and Turlings Catholic early in the year.
Yep.
And, this is playoff time of the year. So, the only thing that I guess concerns me about playing Airline and going the rest of the way for the playoffs for Westgate is how involved is the passing game going to be in their offense? Yeah. Because they seem like they're a good enough team defensively to win playoff games, especially, the games that we have here in this part of the bracket. But are they going to be able to, get involved in the passing game along with the running game? And if they keep doing what they're doing there, I think it's going to be, I think there's a lot of things that he did do that, can add to the plan. So interested to see just exactly how this airline game against Westgate turns out.
And I want to give credit to the coach because there was a moment where it looked like the team was about to lose it, where you had the 3 penalties, and they recovered from that.
Yes.
And here's the alma mater.
Yeah, and always a great tradition at Santa Maria High School.
And so our football season on Rev Sports for fall 2024 is going to come to an end as Santa Maria and Dutchtown are both eliminated. Our final score tonight, Westgate 28, Santa Maria 20. Now coming up on Rev Sports in the upcoming weeks, we're going to have winter sports. So a lot of soccer and a lot of basketball. Coach and I will be out there, and we'll get you that schedule as the weeks go by. And if you want to know which ones we're going to cover early, check Rev Sports 1, subscribe, and subscribe to Rev Sports 2, and they'll tell you what's happening. And so,
and
any final thoughts?
We'll have all the high schools, Prairieville.
Yes.
They're not just participating in volleyball and cross country and swimming and football. They're participating in all the sports. So all of the winter sports that are going to be involved with powerlifting and wrestling, and they have girls wrestling and boys wrestling. The girls were participating with the boys, but that I think that got passed by the LHSA, where you will have a separate sport in girls wrestling. And so that'll be interesting, and that'll lead into all the spring things that happen in the LHSA and the high schools or something. Well, I just can't say enough. A tremendous game tonight. Coach Antoine, congratulations with your team. There's no doubt that they have some athletic people, over there. And good luck to them, next week against Airline. And for Coach Oliver, just another tremendous year that you and the Gators have had, you and your coaching staff. And congratulations, and pat those seniors on the back and get the rest of them in the weight room and get them rolling.
And so we'll see next year if Coach Oliver can be the winningest postseason coach in Santa Maria football history. Won't happen tonight, but maybe next year. So that's going to do it for our broadcast tonight. Again, our final score, Westgate 28, Santa Maria 20. I'm Jeff Porsche. He's David Swacker, and we want to thank everybody else who helped us out in our broadcast. Lau Boudreau back home as our producer. our director, Nolan Wagispack, and our camera operators, Jake Wazan, Priya Singleton, and Chase Henderson. So for everybody, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time for Winter Sports. You have been watching the Rev Game of the Week.